When I tell you that this car took a whole village to get it done, I am not exaggerating at all. So this client bought a brand new to him 2023 BMW M5 Competition, and we're going to be removing all the front end PPF because look how yellow and disgusting that looks. So this car is in for a full track pack PPF. So what that includes would be a full front end PPF package plus the rockers on the side. Not only that, we're also going to be paint correcting the entire vehicle and then locking everything in with Revivify's Carbon X graphene coating. Now once the PPF is off, the first thing we got to do is bring this car outside for a thorough surface prep. BMW brake pads, oh my gosh, they are always so soft and they yield so much brake dust. So with any surface prep, we're always going to tackle the wheels first and then the door jambs, getting into all those nooks and crannies because we don't want any of that dust coming out when we're installing PPF. Whenever a used car comes in for our PPF service, we have to be extra thorough with our surface prep, simply because these cars have seen much more road time, and with those extra kilometers, that just means that there's going to be extra road grime in those nooks and crannies. For the surface prep, we're going to go in with a full pre-soak, jet wash everything off, break down all that gunk, go in with the contact wash with all our wash mitts, jet wash everything off, and then this is when we can go in with our acid, which acts as an iron decontamination. We'll foam everything down, and we're going to go ahead with the clay bar. And for this step, we have to be extra careful because we want to make sure we get all that nasty gunk off. Check out that lower rocker panel. This is all the gunk that we picked up from this clay bar. So when you're washing your car, even though it looks clean, that may not always be the case. We'll jet wash everything off, foam everything down again, and I'm going to go in with my cum rag and make sure we hit up all those corners and crevices, pretty much all the spots that we're going to be wrapping and tucking our film into. Now once that's all done, we can finally move this inside. And I also forgot, we're actually installing all these carbon pieces onto the car as well. We got a rear spoiler here, a 3-piece front lip, as well as a grille, and then 2 carbon fiber mirror caps. Now these mirrors, they're not just overlays, we're actually going to be replacing them. So of course, I trust no one other than Joe to come in to disassemble that mirror housing and then replace it with the new carbon ones. While he's doing that, I'm going to take off the rear spoiler using our trusty heat gun and fishing wire. Now there was a lot of double-sided adhesive residue left behind, so I'm going to go in carefully with this rubber wheel, and that's all the adhesive that's still stuck on the paint. We removed everything, there's still a little mark, but this is when the magician Amir comes in. He's already paint corrected one side. He's gonna get this paint looking brand spanking new. You guys didn't know, Amir is a big fan of BMW. He himself actually has an E30 and E36 M3 back home in Turkey. Rich bitch. Now moving on to the driver's side, look at this paint reflection. For the longest time, I thought this paint was called Dravit Gray, but Amir was like, no, Henry, this is Alvite Gray. And I stand corrected because this Alvite Gray paint actually has way more gold metallic fleck into the paint compared to Dravit Gray. Now I'm going to step in and help Amir with the paint correction process. I went ahead with the second step, and Amir's going to finish it off with the third step as well. And once the paint correction is done, we'll pull this outside for a non-contact post-polish wash. We're going to snow foam this car down, making sure that all that foam emulsifies the polishing dust, and we're going to make sure we jet wash all the nooks and crannies to get everything as clean as possible. And moving on to the next step, this is where Kel's going to step in now. He's going to be applying all the PPF onto this car, and we're starting it off with both rocker panels on each side. And as you can see, we're tucking the out of everything. And for these rocker panels, unfortunately, there were some areas that were past the point of resurrection. There was major rock pitting on the high impact areas right behind that front wheel, but by having PPF installed on those areas, at least it's preventing any further damage from rock chips. Now when it comes to PPF installs, you can check out this fender install just as an example. We're trying to wrap and tuck all these corners and edges around that headlight. It's freaking 2025 now. We're constantly striving to improve our PPF installs, whatever it may be. Ceramic coatings, paint corrections, we're always trying to improve. Literally this whole fender, we're wrapping and tucking all those corners and edges. By the time this PPF install is on, post-heated, trimmed, tucked, everything, you're not even going to notice that there's film on this. Unless the panel doesn't allow for it. It depends on a lot of circumstances, but if the gap is big enough, we'll always try to wrap and tuck the film. Sometimes, of course, you just can't force it down because of the limitations. This is why we always highly suggest that you guys come in for an in-person consultation. It's absolutely free before you book any PPF services with us. This way, we're able to go through the entire car with you, give you a full service breakdown. But anyways, back onto this hood. So this hood, you can see that it's a little bit short, but with film, there's actually a 20% margin where you can stretch. So once we plopped this hood on, did a 4-way stretch, accounted for all the stretch, this made all the corners and edges super easy. And now all we have to do is just maneuver the film properly and squeegee away, get all the air bubbles out. And here's another thing I want to show you guys. You see these ridges on the hood? Kel is actually rubbing this out to make sure that the film isn't tacked down prematurely, because if you just squeegee right over that, you're going to have silvering lines all over that ridge. And also using installation gel with a mixture of slip, this is really going to help levitate that film and prevent it from drying down prematurely. Now for the badge, as always, we're going to trim away at the excess, feed it into the recessed areas, and then Kel's gonna trim away at all the excess around the hood. This is also where we make our trimmings for the corners. We'll roll the edges, and then Kel's just gonna go ahead and finish the front bumper. While he's doing that, this is a great time for the edges on the hood to fully dry before we post heat and tuck everything. And once the PPF is done, I'm gonna install some more carbon fiber parts, the wing first, the front grille, and then Joe's gonna come in again to install the carbon fiber lip. This is a 3-piece. He's gonna mock it up, measure freaking 5 million times, mock it on, apply it on with the 3M double-sided adhesive tape that it came with, and then drill in all the holes that it required, slap on the emblem on the hood, and then this is when Amir and I can start with the ceramic coating process. We're doing a wheels off ceramic coating on all the wheels, the brake calipers. Now typically we only ceramic coat the wheel faces. This is just a complimentary service that we add on for you guys when you're doing the ceramic coating, but for a wheels off service that would be an additional extra. And of course, for all the painted surfaces, we're going to be using Revivify's Carbon X graphene coating, XPEL's Fusion Premium V2 on all the PPF panels. We're going to apply a coating on the windshield as well as all the glass panels around the vehicle. This makes it look freaking crystal clear. And finally, for the last finishing touch, Amir's favorite Shire Tine. Now that everyone's got their hands on this car's finally done, and boom! Even though this car looks like there wasn't much done to it, we spent so many hours trying to perfect this. Let's check out the PPF. All those corners and edges fully rolled, wrapped and tucked. These edges around this vent thingy, you can't even tell that there's freaking PPF on this. We rolled it underneath that fender as well. This corner, oh, so good. Kel freaking killed it. Look at that. Zoom in. And of course, we wrapped it behind the door underneath there. And those rock fittings on the rocker panels were what I've mentioned before. Film is underneath the headlight. The grille is PPF as well. The lips are PPF. Same thing on the driver's side into this bumper fender area. Look at that. This front end looks so much better. These carbon fiber mirror caps are also PPF. The A-pillars as well. And moving on to the paint, look at this light reflection. Sexy, sweet, yummy. This car's finally ready for pickup, and look at that gold metallic fleck in the paint. We're so proud of this one, and that's your PPF and ceramic coating of the day. Ciao.